All right, and welcome back to another episode of Perspective in Pokemon. And I am really excited to have with me Dimitri, all the way in Sri Lanka, right?
That's right. All the way from
Yeah,
Sri Lanka.
it's funny because we're recording this on a Saturday. I just woke up like an hour ago. He's probably gonna go to bed in like an hour. And so,
It never gets old. The whole 12-hour time difference it never gets old.
yeah, I had someone from Australia on the show about a year ago. And it's just so funny because he was I think it was we recorded on a Tuesday, but he was in Wednesday, and so
Wow. Okay.
yeah, just it's time the time difference is just it's a funny thing. But it's as a little background. So I came across Dimitri on Instagram, and I kind of started seeing some of his content. I'm like, oh, cool, Pokemon. But then I started seeing some more content, like like mental health stuff. Oh, like talking about happiness. I'm like, okay, I think I need to get this guy on the show because a lot of the things he was talking about is things that I try talking about too.
Mm.
And so mental health, Pokemon. I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can you go ahead and give like a brief, like 60-second introduction, like who you are, what you're up to?
All right. So I'm a full-time teacher and a tutor. I teach English language and literature. I'm a former corporate backdrop. I failed miserably in corporate. And I love metal music, specifically death metal and Pokemon.
Perfect. And how long have you been teaching?
It's about professionally about 2 years, but I've been tutoring for it for almost in total about 5 years.
Awesome. Hey, now we're going to go back now.
Yeah.
How did you first get into Pokemon?
Oh man. So ironically, I discovered Pokemon accidentally, and it was when I was 10 years old. When we used to have cable TV in our previous home, and I just switched it on around 5, 6 p.m. or something, and then it was the very first episode which aired here in Sri Lanka, and I've been hooked ever since. I've not been in touch with the anime episodes so much, but I got into the cards somewhere when I was in 8th grade when a friend of mine just brought a random bunch of cards to school and said, "Hey, I'm not using it anymore, so you can have it." And I was like, "Okay, those were e-reader cards, so we know how
Ooh.
special e-reader cards are now
Uh-huh.
these days, right?" And I didn't know for the life of me how important it was back in the day. Obviously, I was very very immature about that, but yeah, that's how it all started with in 8th grade. In 8th grade, yeah.
That's awesome. So did you continue to collect like throughout like the rest of your life, or did you take a little
No,
break?
no, yeah. Break in the sense, I would say, with the way my life was set in terms of education and career, because when I left school and graduated, uh, I thought I was supposed to head in a particular direction, which ended up to be a really miserable sort of decisions I took for myself. And that ended up me being depressed and a lot of anxiety and all sorts of problems in terms of my mental health and health in general. So while I was going through this phase, Pokemon was the least thing that was on my mind. I would say, was not even present in my state of mind. But if I'm not mistaken, during my tenure in working corporate, I would randomly, whenever I had the chance, whenever I had some excess cash, I would get something for myself related to Pokemon, obviously cards. And that was the little, I would say, spasms of entertainment I got for myself. But apart from that, uh, nothing more. And then after I left corporate, after I left this whole toxic environment, that is when I fully got myself involved in the scene once again, I would say.
Awesome. So when I guess when you start getting back into it, what
Yeah.
what was like the first thing you picked up?
The first thing I picked up, oh man, so I never had binders in my life. I never have had binders. The way I used to keep my cards, at least the very special ones, excuse me, were in photo albums. Because we don't, just a little context, Sri Lanka doesn't have any place to buy cards, any.
Mm.
the ones that we have here sell fake cards because they have HP over 33,000, and the it just peels off. It's bad. So the only type of binders or place we can store cards of sorts are photo albums. So that is where I used to keep my special cards for a long time. That's where that's where I started picking it up, and it's only recently, a year ago, that I got my first binder that I have right here next to me. So yeah, it's been a cruel and rough experience, I would say, because I passionately collected with I don't know. I would, even yesterday I was telling my mom and my girlfriend that the only thing I would spend an insane amount of money would not be for alcohol or for anything else that usual people in my country would do, because we love by alcohol, just so you know. We love by alcohol. But while I enjoy a drink, the only thing that I would spend money on, great amount of money on, would be on tattoos and Pokemon cards.
That's so. Oh my gosh, so that's so interesting though. Like, so all the shops around you would only sell fake cards. So
Let me be specific about that also. We would have only about 2 stores around the entire country that sells cards, and that's also zipped fake.
oh my gosh, that's just so interesting, because here in the U.S., like we have the Targets, the WalMarts, the all bunch of stores that sell cards, but right now it's very hard to find cards at all.
Yes.
But it's so funny, like putting that into context, because like here we're like, oh my gosh, Walmart doesn't have any cards today, whereas like it's like, no, we don't have any cards at all. Like people are complaining over here, like, oh my gosh, I can't find cards. Like, there's no cards in my whole country.
Right now, that's interesting, because I know the situation to a certain extent what you guys experience, because I have a couple of friends who are in the Pokemon community in a big way. So I get input and feedback from them. So whenever I have to order cards, and that's a challenge itself because of exchange rate and all that, and shipping. That's also another pain in the butt. But so whenever I get cards, it's like it's literally a luxury, because it takes such a long time, and it takes such a amount of investment from my side, because like I said, card exchange rate and all that. And recently I got myself 4 boxes of battle styles. 4 boxes in the sense, 1 ETB and a Blastoise box and something else. And only 1 out of all those 4 had decent hits, so the rest were So when an individual such as myself, and I'm sure a lot of people, after I started opening this, a lot of my friends also are now getting back into the hobby. So all of us, when we are really able to relate to this, it's like we wait so long to get something, and then when we get it, not really satisfied, because it's all part of the game, I guess, of and the passion of collecting it.
Yeah, for sure. My gosh, that's just so interesting to me. So then, are you like buying stuff off of eBay? Like, I'm just curious, how do you get your cards in the first place?
Mostly eBay, but the battle styles that I got recently were from my relatives who live in Dubai. So I had a friend who came over from Dubai recently, and he was able to bring them down with him. But usually from eBay, yes. So, right. And with the current situation, with the trend where everything is hyped, the prices are ridiculously hyped. That is also posing another challenge in purchasing these sort of things.
Yeah, for sure. Man. Well, I hope you get a closer shop to you sometime in the near future. Sometime.
So interesting. Now, as I speak, we are more or less in lockdown, because situation in our country in terms of COVID is not very good, I would say. We've been at home for the past number of months. I would say at home, not going to be able to go out anywhere. So a couple of friends and I, who are again passionately into this collecting hobby, have discussed about trying to get stores to who sell collectibles. So there are plenty of collectible stores that sell Tintin merchandise or Marvel merchandise and so on and so forth. So we approached them and try to tell their interest. If you do this, there's a huge market, untapped market. Forget the world. There's an untapped market in Sri Lanka where there will be plenty of people who want to invest. So we told them, we just now everything is getting pushed back, because of COVID. But
Mhm.
I'm optimistic. Let's see how it works out,
Uh-huh.
because then I would then, like you said, I wouldn't have to wait for weeks to get a card, set of cards into my hands.
Yeah. I think, oh my gosh, I think just here in the US, we're so spoiled. We're so spoiled. I think we have so much entitlement sometimes when it comes to cards and other things too. I won't even discuss other stuff, but just
Yeah,
sticking with cards.
yeah.
I just think we're so entitled sometimes, like, because I mean, again, you can't find cards at all in your country. I was talking to someone in Holland, and he was saying that there's one shop like at all that sells any kind of Pokemon stuff, and like they're almost always sold out. And like we're like I can like on a good day if they're in stock, I can drive like just 5 minutes away and there's stuff like around me. It's I think we forget sometimes, the little blessings we might have, whether it's
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
hobby or other things.
Correct, 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 correct.
Uh,
Man.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I would be lying if I don't tell you that times when I see my friends on Instagram who are in the States and England and all that, who have, like you said, plenty of shops around, plenty of merch around to go and get stuff, even if things are restricted as it is. And when they post regularly of the cards or product they buy, I'm like, I wish, I wish,
Yeah.
I wish.
Man, though, I honestly though I don't know if this is going to happen, this year, in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I don't know, but Pokemon just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Did you see the
Like,
eevee heroes that they built up? They put 12 alternate
oh
arts.
my gosh, it, I am I saw those and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to make sure I don't spend all my money on this.
Right? I just checked on eBay before I just joined here. Just checked on eBay. eevee heroes. Okay, let's see. What is all the hype about? 12 alternate arts. Okay, okay. Booster box. $180.
Yeah, I like as soon as those cards drop, like the artwork for those alternate arts, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so expensive. Like I already knew it was going to be expensive. As soon as those dropped, I was like, people are going to be flipping these. People are going to be selling these for like
Insane
300,
prices.
400% more than
Jesus.
what they normally would be, which is crazy because Japanese sets like weren't like this up until like maybe Shiny Star V. I think that's really when people started.
You can buy Shiny Star for at a cheaper price than that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even Shiny Star V you can find cheaper. It's yeah. I don't know. I'm see at this point I'm like, well, I'll just kind of wait until the price drops. I'm cool with wait. I'm cool with being patient.
Man. Oh man, I am. If I don't mean to gloat here. I don't mean to gloat, but I am the king of freaking patience when it comes to cards. Because imagine
Well,
when
you have to
like I said,
be.
yeah, I don't repeat this, but it's true because when I see friends on social media post this, and then I wait months, I go on tracking every day. Okay, where is it today? Okay, it's here today. Dude, interesting story. When my grandma passed away a month ago, the very next day, my shipment of matchless fighters came in. Okay, and I swear, okay, again, I don't mean to gloat or talk nonsense here, but the moment I got those in from the postal office, I cried, man. I got in the car and I started crying. Okay, all because of whatever we went through as a family after my grandma's passing, and then the set of cards, because that is the set I'm trying to finish. That's my very first set I'm trying to finish in completion. Because of my favorite character, which is Blaziken. My favorite Pokemon, Blaziken. So, moment I got those cards, those 2 booster boxes into the car, I got in and I started crying. I couldn't control myself because that was, I don't know, whole bunch of emotions, going wild with, saying bye to another family member and then getting this was crazy.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, I won't go back to that in a sec, but just again,
Yeah.
last thing I just want to say about this topic is like we have to keep things in context. Like honestly, you have to wait months to get something, and some people are complaining because they can't find it today. Like, oh, I think it's just important to put things in perspective. That at least if you're in the United States, if you're in New York, if you're in Texas, like there's a good chance you could find something tomorrow. When Dimitri here, my boy Dimitri has to wait literally months to just get that one booster pack, that one box.
It's insane. And I'm with all these difficulties, I would say I'm grateful, because even a few years ago, I wasn't able to buy a single booster box. This year, I've been able to buy more than 5, and I'm so grateful for that. Because I know where I've been, I know where I'm currently, I know where I want to go in the next X number of years. So whatever I get into my hand I just welcome it with so much gratitude, and that's what I keep telling people. So regardless of how much or how sucky the pulls can be at certain times, I'm super grateful. I get to open it anyway and experience it. That's the whole point.
I love that, man. I'm so glad you shared that. So then, why do you collect?
I guess it's not for playing the TCG game. It's for the art, because I've been hooked on ever since 8th grade. The moment I saw all the hollow and the non-hollow, even the reverse e-reader cards of the Aquapolis. I would say Aquapolis is my favorite. Yeah, I think Aquapolis is my favorite from the e-reader cards. Ever since then, I've been hooked, and I have now been able to make just to show, okay, just to show a separate couple of pages in the binder, just for full arts.
Ooh.
Okay, crap. There we go.
Oh man, you got some beautiful ones.
There we go. So it's definitely an artistic point of view. That I collect these cards, and not necessarily for the game. I don't understand how to play the game, to be frank. But for the artistic point of view, definitely, absolutely. And the texture, oh my god, the texture. Oh my god, yeah. Sorry, I got lost in the texture part for a second.
No, you're fine. I mean, dude, I saw your TikTok with Cynthia.
No, so yeah, because we all know how badass Cynthia is in the game, right? We know how insane she is in the game, and then when the same guy who brought down the battle styles, boxes for me, the friend of mine, he just said, "Bro, any other cards that you want to complete sets with? I mean, looking for trainer card." They're like, "Oh, okay, here, pick one of these," and then he had Cynthia, and I'm like, "What about this?" Okay, fine, take it. I'm like, don't stop pulling my leg. You know how important, how special, how probably expensive this guy is. Yeah, it's okay. You go ahead. It's you. So
That's awesome.
It's insane. Yeah.
So I guess that brings me coming to my next question is, why did you start creating content? You're pretty active on TikTok. You're active. I know you're active on Instagram.
Yeah. Definitely to give back, because I started making content on Instagram initially just posting whatever was happening in my life, which didn't relate to a lot of people, to be frank, because it's my life and people experience various things. But then after going through what I went through in my previous job and going through the whole depression and anxiety, and to be honest, I had a suicidal phase as well. That made me realize that a lot of people in my age were experiencing maybe not the same thing, but almost on equal grounds. So I thought, okay, why not try to reach a broader audience by trying to make content like this on social media. And it just picked up from there. A lot of people ever since then have reached out to me saying that, okay, they are feeling the same way, men and women, girls and boys, even teenagers nowadays, since I teach at school. And that has, been able to grace me and bless so many others, I would say, where they're able to relate on very, very similar situations, whether they're going through challenging situations because of the job they're doing, because even though they have to pay rent or they pay their mortgage or whatever, a lot of people still do the job they hate because of these situations, or they are not in a very stable position in a relationship because of so many other family situations or pressures and all that. So yeah, that is what got me into creating content ever since. I've been doing this continuously for the past almost 2 years now. Yeah, almost 2 years.
That's awesome. And it's interesting that you say you want to give back. I think I think there are, just from conversations I've had with people, there are people who do want to give back. There are people who may have experiences that could help others, thoughts, perspectives that could help others. But I think sometimes, from my observations, that we think that no one's going to listen. No one's gonna see it. I'm not gonna make any kind of difference. When, to be honest, like just on a personal level, there's been a couple times where I've seen something you posted. I'm like, oh, I actually need to hear that today. And I probably didn't even say anything to you. I don't think I even made a comment or anything, but it's just like that one little thing that I need to hear that day helps me for the rest of my day, but you never knew.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, we hold ourselves back from giving because maybe we just assume that no one's going to, we don't think we're going to make a difference.
Yeah, that's true. I've still, to be honest, to be frank, that I still have moments where I don't feel really good about certain posts that I make, I would say, because even though I tell myself it's not about the likes, you idiot, it's not about the likes. But then when, I gotta be frank, I'm being very frank with you. When there are posts that do really well without your expectations, and then there are posts you think will do with expectations, and they don't. Mm-hmm. There are disappointing moments, but what I try to learn and try to tell myself every day, that it's just as you said, some people find it relatable, some find it not necessarily as relatable as they thought it would be, or as I thought it would be. But at the end of the day, what I'm grateful for is that at least one person notices it. And that makes a big difference to me, because I know for a fact when I used to work in corporate, I keep bringing this corporate stuff because it was a very, very dangerous time, I would say, in my life. Okay, dangerous in the sense, the same row of people who were sitting along with me, all of us would be saying these words: I don't know why I'm doing this. Out of all those people, maybe one or two, including myself, would get ourselves out of that entire situation, while the rest are still complaining and doing that. And while the rest of them may be having, with families, with kids, and they got the whole thing to deal with, others are still young and they have a life ahead of them to try and make decisions, or that would help improve their life, which a lot don't do. Either they're scared or all sorts of things.
So what was that shift in you that made you want to, I guess, change it? Because you said, you obviously were not having a good time. You were, even having, suicidal thoughts. Like, so what, I guess, what brought about that final, like, okay, I need to make a change. I'm going to make a change.
One day during a family dinner, I had a bit too much to drink. And because I was going through a difficult time in that particular year of my life, I had a bit too much to drink. We all have drinks at family gatherings, but this time I went overboard because I was literally trying to drown myself in alcohol. And so none of us drove that day for obvious reasons. And we took a cab. And on our way home, so I did not realize because I was out of my senses. But on the way back, apparently the next morning, I was told, we had a meeting, the family and we had a sit-down discussion. And apparently, I had tried to jump out of the moving vehicle, yelling that, okay, I want to end my life right then and then there. Okay. So, mom started crying, my sister started crying, dad looked horrified, not disappointed, horrified that he did not realize his son was probably going through something of this. And that hit that was the time, because I kept telling myself, okay, I got to do it. I got to change. But it never did. Just like I kept saying that people never took a decision, change because of fear. That was the same thing happening to me. This moment and this particular situation happened, and same week I quit. I gave my resignation. I quit. A month later, for a month I was at home, and then a month later I got into doing what I'm currently doing, teaching. And while I was doing the whole tuition thing part-time, I started teaching full-time, and that is where everything started becoming better. And I kept comparing a lot of things. I kept comparing, okay, because this whole thing about being corporate, as I was working in one of the most largest apparel companies in Sri Lanka. So the idea, if you're going to be in this particular organization, in this particular corporate industry, that you're going to be recognized if you have a car, not just a car, also, a bit of a luxurious car, maybe not even a Toyota, maybe something a bit grander than that. You know what I mean? You forget about the clothing, at least your watches, everything else that comes along with it, the prestige. That was what's in my head. So I used to compare myself against that, and that also was getting me mentally down. But after I left, I quit, and I literally cut that chapter from my life and started being grateful for everything that I have. It has been a upward ladder since then. Of course, there are times now, it's interesting. I believe this Taylor Swift mentioned this recently in one of her speeches. I don't know why I'm bringing Taylor Swift, but it's actually I read this recently. That whatever thing you do in life, with it, whatever job you do, now these are not the exact words, but what she was trying to say is whatever you experience, there's always going to be some challenges. So I face, even though I love this job, there are difficult moments every now and then, and that's okay. I understand that. And that's what's important, because I know from where I was back in the day, 5-6 years ago, can never compare to where I am right now. It's unbelievable. The peace of mind you get for yourself is what's, I would say, one of the most important things.
That's awesome. Wow, man, dude, that's seriously awesome. And I love how you brought up that no matter what you do, there's going to be challenges. Like whether you're doing the thing you love the most, or whether you're doing something you hate, like there's always going to be challenges. Because I think sometimes people are in a situation that they don't want to be. They're in a toxic relationship, they're in a job they hate, maybe they're in a poor financial situation. And I think sometimes we have this mentality like, oh, if I was just somewhere else, everything would be sunshine and rainbows. Which it's true. Like if you get yourself into a better relationship, things are going to be better. If you get into a better financial situation, things can be better. A different job, things can be better. But that does not necessarily mean that that these things aren't going to bring their own unique challenges.
Absolutely.
And so I appreciate you bringing that up.
No problem. Yeah.
So, well, we are going to wrap up pretty soon, but I do want to ask just a few more questions, maybe just like one or two more questions. Then we're going to go into the rapid fire questions.
All right, let's do this. Okay. I have no idea what you're going to ask me. Rapid fire. Okay.
So, and to be honest, I think you probably already answered this, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Yeah.
So I know with your content, and you talk about, you try to bring a better perspective to people. I know you've brought stuff up about relationships, you brought stuff about happiness, you brought stuff up about mental health. I guess why is that important to you to see others happy?
To be honest, I used to have this same question in my head. I want, or rather, this idea that I want to see as many people happy as possible in whatever they do, because I was able to relate to so many people who approach me saying that this is what they're going through, what he or she is going through. But in the past few months, it came to my understanding that no matter how much you try to justify what happiness is to society needs to accept what happiness is to them. Because if it's right there, it depends on what decisions, thoughts, and words you're going to put towards that brings that happiness to you. say, I would have given up collecting cards right now, given the number of pressures that the whole hobby brings with it. The price, the shipping, you know, the patience you need to wait till the card arrives to your postal office. Oh Lord. So it's what I believe it's important is, if you're not going to take the risk necessary to know what's important and what will bring happiness to you, then I am in no place to tell you, okay, this is what you need to be doing to what's going to bring you happiness. I can tell you for all I want, hey, okay, you do this, you're going to be happy. You quit your job, you're going to be happy. But ultimately, the person who's going to make the decision is yourself. No matter what I say, no matter what your parents say, no matter what your spouse says, because it's too easy to point the finger at someone else and say, okay, hey, you screwed this over. This company screwed me over, or this person in my relationship messed my brain. The way I feel about love. No, man, it's maybe at that particular time it may have appeared to be so, but what you do after that in terms of how you want to pitch yourself towards what makes you happy is all on you. So what I would say is my ideology about how people needs, or how I want people to be happy, is all about how they want themselves to be happy. No matter how much I say about what happiness is and how you can achieve happiness, if they don't make the decisions for themselves, then it's on them.
100%. And that is something that I think a lot of people, well, I don't want to say a lot of people, that I've observed that quite a few people don't understand, or perhaps were never taught, or don't want to accept that, when it comes to your life, your happiness, like that is on you. Like, even if you are in a, job you don't like, even if you are in a relationship you don't enjoy, like at the end of the day, you can't choose what other people do, but you can 100% choose what you're going to do. You can choose, to be happy, to make those steps to be happier. And to be honest, because I used to not think this way, I didn't, it wasn't necessarily consciously, but I came to realize that, when you actually take 100% responsibility for your life, again, understanding that you can't control other people's decisions, other people's decisions do affect you. But when you take responsibility, what you're going to do about it, what you're going to do with your life, then you start becoming a lot happier. Yes. Because you stop blaming other people. You stop giving other people control over your happiness.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We are very good at giving people power over our happiness. We are very good at that. And that's not just a Sri Lankan thing. I believe it's a global phenomenon.
Yes.
As to how see, the whole point of me telling that at times I'm not happy about the way the likes and comments and the views go. That's me, giving the power to everyone else, my followers, as to how they're going to make me feel. And it's there. It's like an inherent thing that we have to try and maybe keep at bay. I'm not sure whether we can master it. I'm going through this myself, so I'm in no position to say whether you can master it. But at least we can keep it at bay, maybe. I don't know. That's maybe questionable.
I think it's definitely, at least the way I see it, is that in this life we're just kind of on this journey of self-mastery, on this journey of happiness, this journey of just becoming. And I think, and again, I don't know, maybe I'll talk to you when I'm 95 years old. I'll let you know how I'm doing, but I think that is just one of those
I'm
things.
Looking forward to that. Yeah.
Maybe you'll have a Pokemon store by then. But
oh wow, that's a good idea. Yeah.
but no, I think it's just one of those things that that takes time to develop. There's just so many things in life that I think it's good to think about, and like we can talk about it, but we might not ever master it until we're 110 years old.
Yeah.
But on that note, though, I think it's just, that's okay. I think it's just trying to get a little better every day, be a little happier every day, be, have less people control our happiness, have a little less people control our happiness every day. I think if we're making that little progression, then.
But it's also, I would say, it's also where we at times, it's also important to remember that if you don't have a little progress every day, that's all right too, because at times I know for a fact that if I don't make a post at least once a week, I'm going to feel down, because that is something that keeps me going. So if you don't have a little progress every day, that's all right at times. It's what makes us human, I would say. And at times you need to catch a break, or take a step back and to see where you are and where you need to go. Perfectly fine.
100%. Although I'd even add that taking a step back is progression, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because sometimes you do need to take that step back.
Absolutely. Yeah, agreed.
Okay. All right, man. Well, we're going to go into the rapid fire questions, and then I will let you enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.
Let's do this.
All right. What is your favorite kind of lunch?
Rice and curry.
Rice and curry. I love me some curry.
You should try a rice and curry. Oh,
dude, if I'm ever in Sri Lanka.
Rice and curry. It's spicy though. I don't know whether you guys like spicy food.
I enjoy some spice.
Okay.
Well, see, so I had to see how spicy you mean, because my spicy might not be your spicy. It's kind of like, as a quick side note, it's kind of like I was in Argentina, and I met a Peruvian family there who they're like, oh yeah, this food is just a little spicy. It was super spicy. Like my mouth was on fire. I was sweating. Like
our food can be quite spicy because we get all. I don't know if you try any Indian food, maybe you can compare it to that. Maybe so. Okay.
Well, I do enjoy Indian food, so.
Nice. Okay.
So favorite Pokemon.
Blaziken.
Blaziken. Favorite Pokemon card that you currently own.
Crap. Okay. Sure. I think I have this somewhere. Wait. Oh no, let's see it. Wait. Where's that? I had it specifically for this. Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
This is the Galarian Articuno from Matchless Fighter.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's a beautiful card.
Probably the most prettiest card I have in the collection.
And I'm only a little jealous. So, what is your favorite part about being a teacher?
The students, with all the crazy and even the stupid things they do, best part about the job.
And what is your favorite Pokemon set, modern and vintage?
Modern, I would say Matchless Fighter, because that's the set I'm trying to complete. And vintage, I would say the Aquapolis set. I would say.
Nice.
I hope that's considered as vintage.
Yeah, at this point is vintage.
Yeah.
I think we're considered vintage now. I don't know. And so, what's one place that you hope to visit one day?
An infinite place, whatever location, an infinite number of Pokemon stores. I would visit, and I would bust up all my cash just so I can at least window shop. Even if there's no product available on the shelf, at least I would say, it's a Pokemon stand. That's where the cards used to be.
Just take all the selfies, like.
Exactly.
Like, I didn't buy anything, but here's some cool stuff.
Oh man, yeah. Oh man, absolutely.
Okay, and last question. What makes you happy?
Okay. What makes me happy? Right here, right now, with everything that I have, and with the people I got in my life. Yeah.
I love that, man. Dude, it has been so much fun having you on the show. Like, honestly, I honestly could probably talk to you for like the next 3 hours.
Oh dear. Okay, we're doing this 40 minutes. I didn't realize it was 40 minutes.
Right?
What? Wow. Okay.
But real quick, guys, go follow this guy. You are on Instagram, TikTok, anywhere else?
Facebook, LinkedIn, but I don't know how many people are interested in LinkedIn, but yeah, TikTok
well,
and Instagram is where I usually create content. Yeah.
Okay, and it is Dimi Vlogs on.
Dimi
Okay.
Vlogs. Yeah.
Okay, I will go ahead and put that down below in the description. But Dimitri, again, thanks so much for being on. Go follow this guy. Seriously, you will not regret it.
Thank you, Ulysses. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for joining. It was an honor being here. I loved it.